So let me give you an example of a forward map that I've filled out here, right? That starts with coming up with your SMART goal. So in the last frame, this number 6, you'll write your SMART goal. So in this case, I will complete the first quarter PLT lab curriculum by April 11th. Okay, so that is a goal I have for setting up for next year, a 5th grade curriculum. Okay, so now I need to go back here to the start and figure out where I am right now. So right now I do have an outline. So that's me holding my outline. I don't have anything more than that. So that's as much of the curriculum as I've got set up. So that means I've got a lot more steps left. So now I'm going to think of the obstacles that stand in my way between where I am right now with my outline and the completion of this first quarter 5th grade PLT lab curriculum by April 11th. All right. So my first obstacle is a full calendar, right? My calendar's already filled up. It's going to be hard to find the time to do this work and clear out my calendar a little bit. The second obstacle is spring break is coming up at the end of March, and I would actually like to take my spring break and relax a little bit, right? Like I work a lot. It would be really nice if I wasn't just doing this curriculum the whole time. All right. Third obstacle is I've got a lot of higher priorities, right? First thing is not this, right? Like there are a lot of things that I need to do right away that are not this curriculum, and so it's very hard to make the time back here when I have other priorities in front of me. And my fourth obstacle is not as exciting. Right now I'm not really super excited about that curriculum, maybe because it's not a priority, maybe because it's for later on. I'm not really thinking about it, but for whatever reason I've got a lot of other projects right now that I'm really excited about, and more so than this curriculum. So that means I'm actually taking a little more time. I'm not as likely to just jump into it and get going. All right, so that's the first part. I come up with where I am, what my SMART goal is, and filled it up with obstacles. So the next step is to go on the next page is to figure out how I'm going to overcome each of those obstacles with clear steps. So again, you're going to go back, okay, to start with me preparing for this plan all the way through accomplishing my goal. So in this case, preparing for my plan, I'm starting out by filling out my calendar, right? I got my calendar out. I'm going to put blocks of time in. I'm going to figure out how to make this time. So the first thing I'll do is very carefully schedule the work time in the calendar in advance right now. I'm not going to wait until the week before and start filling it in. I'm not going to kind of just try to find time each day, because if I don't put in my calendar right now, I'm much more or less likely to do it. Then what I'm going to do with the spring break thing, I'm going to choose 2 to 3 days of spring break to work on this, and I'm going to just calendar it out. I'm just going to devote those whole days, not just doing a little bit of work each day. I'm going to do 2 to 3 days of spring break to just knock this out, so then the rest of the time I can actually relax a little bit, because that's important to me and I need that, and need to spend a little time with my family. So then the third obstacle, right, in terms of all my priorities, I'm going to work on this in the morning. Okay, because what happens to me is in the afternoons when I try to work on stuff, my priorities always really pop in. I don't have as much mental energy, and so it's really important that I start fresh. I'm just going to tackle this for a couple hours in the morning before the weight and kind of pressure of these other priorities get in my way and keep me from working hard. Finally, I'm going to research and get more exciting ideas. Right now I just have an outline, so I'm not as excited about this curriculum, but I always get excited once I kind of research and talk to people about it and get some ideas of the different lessons. Then I really get into it. So I need to do that now to kind of spark that excitement and energy, so that when I go forward, I can knock this out. And then, boom, there you go. If I do all these things, right, I'm going to get to a place where here I am happily completing the goal. I'm handing the curriculum over. If you know Mr. Barrera, that's him right there, right? This is how I'm going to accomplish that goal. And now suddenly, by doing this thing, a forward map, I've come up with a pretty good plan to help me get to this goal. Now, it's not every single step, but it is a lot of the steps, and it's me thinking through all the biggest pieces and getting over the obstacles so I can really end up here where I want to be. So now it's going to be your turn to do the same thing.